So, that's how the war ended. We left in the middle of and how we found out where my father was. Because
You hadn't heard from him in 10 years, right?
Yeah, well, my mother got a letter from the Red Cross from Prague, from Czechoslovakia, saying, okay, your husband was drafted, he was an American citizen, he served in England, France, and Germany. He was in the, what's that big battle? Normandy invasion.
D-Day.
Yeah.
My God.
He was a mechanic, he was real good with his hands, and he used to making wire wires. He followed the tanks.
Was he in France, in Normandy?
Yeah, and Helen has which beach he was on. He was there.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, he was shipped back to the States, and, the Red Cross was alerting my mother that, okay, he's back in the States, and he did this. And if she wanted to, she and I, as a dependent, could come to America. And my mother didn't want to come. Oh, I remember my Uncle John coming and yelling, you can't.
Uncle John, whose house I saw?
He said, I can't keep you in Albina. I have my own family. You have to go. And they make an announcement, and they had translators that translate into different languages for these girls. That we were to stay on our boat until July 5th, because July 4th is a big holiday, or something like that, and then they would put all the girls on a train to join their husbands, Chicago or wherever they were going, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. So we're sitting on a deck of the boat, on July 4th, in front of the Statue of Liberty. Magnificent fireworks. Well, I didn't know they were fireworks. I thought they were bombs. So I started to cry, and my mother did, and then one of the Czech people, girls, she understood English. She came and comforted me, because I thought they were bombing it. I thought they were bombing wherever we were. She said, no, it's a big party. It's a celebration. Huh?
You want to talk about something else?
No.
No? You okay?
And the war ended, and we came to America. And the first thing I had in America when I saw my father was at Station Square, where the dining room is, whatever that's
the
called.
Grand Concourse.
Grand Concourse. The train came there. All these war brides were put on a train in New York, wherever they were going, Chicago or Alabama or wherever, Pittsburgh, or we came on a train. And my mom and I were coming to Pittsburgh, and the tracks were going past the U.S. Steelworks in Braddock. And it was like then, the steel was made with big, huge fire and bit of smoke. So we're looking out the window, and we see this fire, and my mother says, oh, my God, they're bombing it here. And we're like, oh, we're coming from one place to another. And she says, look at this, it's all on fire. So, and the guy, the port, see, I'm drunk, I can't think of his name. But anyhow, he saw our distress, we're going, and he went, okay, I can remember that. Okay, I said, okay. And after a while, when we passed the steelworks, it stopped. So we came to Station Square, and I never saw my father, of course. And my mother didn't see him for 10 years. She didn't want to come, by the way.
Right.
Because Uncle John made her. He said, you got to go. I can't support you, and, your mother's going to die, and blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, we're looking at and I know exactly the spot because I took my mom and dad for lunch there while they were still. My mother says, that's your father there. And, he came to us, and I remember, I didn't know, I don't know what I said, but he pulled out of his pocket, he gave me something, and I said to him, what am I supposed to do with it? And he said, chew it.
Was it gum?
It was 5 packs of gum.
Oh, God.
But he didn't tell me, so I opened it up and I put all 5 packs
my God.
in my mouth. And then I could talk, And then I guess we took a cab and we lived on Carson Street with the Sokol Club. You don't know where the Sokol
I know where that is.
do.
I used to pass it all the time. When I
Yeah,
was at
well,
work.
the building still
Yeah.
stands. And my mother, after a while, she cleaned houses here in Mount Lebanon.
Yeah?
Do you know that?
No, I didn't ever know that. I never knew that.
And there was one house that still stands. It's behind they had a baker shop. That's baker shop. And she used to take me after she sort of got to know the people. She was a good cleaner. And she would take me, and they had a son, David. And she would clean, and, I'd hang out with David. But she cleaned that whole damn house. It was huge. And we'd take two streetcars, no buses. In town, we had to change and go back to South Side.